mention friction. Now, friction is interesting, and you might have studied it, might not have. There's two kinds of friction: static friction and dynamic friction. Static friction is more powerful than dynamic friction, meaning if once you get a box sliding across the floor, once it's sliding, it's easier to push. So static friction holds tight until it slips, and then you go into dynamic friction. Static friction is a variable. Now, a lot of you teachers will dispute that, but let me explain. If this table were sitting on a smooth floor and I push on it 1 pound of force, the table wouldn't move. Why didn't it move? Because the frictional forces are pushing back at me the exact amount I'm pushing. So if I push 1 pound, the frictional force is pushing back at me 1 pound, and everything is static. If I push 2 pounds and the table still does not move, then the static friction is 2 pounds. So therefore, static friction is a variable. It's only as strong as it's needed. Now, in the case of a car, when the car is going down the road, the only connection between you and the roadway are 4 patches of rubber that are rolling and continuously sitting on the pavement. You're operating with static friction there because nothing's sliding, it's just rolling and sticking to the pavement. When you apply the brakes, everything hangs on, the wheels are still turning, but when you apply enough brakes, they break loose and start skidding. Then you go into dynamic friction and you don't stop very well, and you can't possibly steer because all you have are 2 patches under the 2 front tires that are sliding. Whether you turn them left or right, the car still goes forward. The beauty of anti-lock brakes, they have a system on each wheel that can tell when the wheel is moving and how fast it's moving. And when you apply the brakes and get past the maximum point of static friction where the pad of rubber wants to slip on the roadway, it senses the stoppage of the wheels and releases the brake momentarily, so it starts rolling again. Then you're operating in static friction again until such time it slides again, and it repeats that. It pulsates. You have the pedal, you keep the pressure on the pedal, and the wheels, the system pulsates the brakes to keep you in static friction. And since this allows the wheels to roll, you have steering ability. It's so much safer. I would not recommend driving a car, especially up north on the slick roads, without anti-lock brakes.